You've just done a fundraise.
Yes.
Tell us, from this region, why you came to Qatar for money and how much indeed you've been raising.
Our total round was 250 million. The region for us is really important, not only the GCC, but also because we think between the markets here, there's so much digital innovation that's going on, so many small businesses that are now building software. But I think the second thing is, especially with the QIA, they're a very patient investor and long-term capital. And when you're trying to build something generational, you're going to make mistakes and you're going to learn from those mistakes. And you want someone that's not running necessarily a 7-year cycle, but they're really thinking about the world at large.
You, of course, kept on some previous investors, Insight, for example. Yes. What's interesting, do VCs, do you think, have to be worried about basically startups now going direct to sovereign wealth funds? Is that becoming an obvious form of capital now, not needing to see these sort of, middle people who are venture capital?
Look, I think it's different, right? I don't see the big sovereigns writing $1 million checks, $10 million checks. I definitely think Series C and D, you're at the early end of it, but you could easily cross over into sovereigns, just like you could cross into crossover funds at that point. It really depends on what you're building.
Yeah.
If you're building to be acquired, you're probably well suited towards a more venture style investment. If you're building where it's sort of a bit more generational, it's a bigger platform, you want to have the right mix. It's always a balance, right? So we want to have an Insight, we want to have an Iconic, but we also want to have a QIA. And what it does is it gives us the right pools, but also the right connectivity.
That's so interesting that you say what you're looking to build, because perhaps people might have gotten the wrong end of the stick a few weeks ago when they saw that you took money from Microsoft and you're building within their platform, offering your services on Microsoft. Why did you do that? If you're looking, I'm trying to insinuate and read between the lines that you're building to be a big public company, individual, and scale great heights.
Look, and it might sound brazen. We're looking to build $1 trillion business. We're not looking to sell for a few billion. It's not our MO. Because it's never about the money, as much as money is important. And so when you're looking to build that big, and you're looking to be that grassroots in how stuff is used. Office is used everywhere. Windows is used everywhere. There's a lot of patterns you learn from someone that's already solved the problem. I think the second is always, again, it's balance. And so we have two corporates that have had work with us. One we haven't disclosed yet for obvious reasons. But with Microsoft, the key was alignment around mission. They want to digitally transform the world. Alignment around values. We just get along. So important. And it's a balance also with our cap table.
Yeah.
Because it's not an investment because that's an exit. It's an investment because there is joint value that can be created when you bring those two platforms together.
So let's talk about what you're building. And it's ultimately a way that people are going to be able to code, to build websites and their businesses much easier. You're not going to have to sort of pick and choose from a website anymore. You'll literally be able to use your voice. What is your vision?
Look, and I think I use this analogy. I have two kids, and they do art class. When you go to a kid and say, draw me Picasso.
Do you do that?
Yeah.
Do you ever ask your kids to
draw Picasso? Their art teacher says draw Picasso, and it's never that great the first attempt. And then you put 5 paintings of Picasso, and it's like an order of magnitude better. And then you say to them, like, the aha moment was, you can cut these up, and these are prints. You can cut these up and then add your own piece to it, and now you'll put it on the wall, and we have them on the wall in the house. And it goes to show that when you're not an expert, and you can pick and choose things, that's really profound. And so that was, like, to us, the telling point. The second thing was, you talk about coding software. I think people should forget the word coding.
Yeah.
Right? You're building a restaurant, you don't understand how the kitchen is built. You're probably in retail, it doesn't mean you understand how fabrics are weaved. And so you should just simply say, I need a piece of software that does this, that allows me to do Y, and everyone can talk. There's two things everyone can do. They can order pizza online and they can talk. And so why can't you take the best of both those worlds and allow anyone to simply say, I need to solve this problem, and now with the advancements we have with AI, why can't it tell you, well, this is how you solve it?